All right, ladies and gents, welcome. We've got the first semifinal in a tournament that has delivered, if you like, entertainment. This has been incredibly fun. I think this is going to end up hitting the main channel of YouTube. Most of my viewers on YouTube probably understand I have the extras channel, and there's more content there, and I'm doing a lot of uploads there, and there's, like, you know, things that people should check out. But if you didn't know that, if you somehow catch this because this is just on the main channel, I've been uploading quite a few sets from this tournament, and this is a sudden death event. So if you lose your town centers, you are defeated. If you destroy the opponent's town centers, you win. This is a little confusing if it is your first time because there's actually 2 town centers here for both players. You do actually have to destroy both of them on this map. All the other maps are just 1 TC. And yes, this is the first semifinal. $10,000 tournament. Sponsored by World's Edge, a.k.a. Microsoft, and hosted by good friends John Slow and T West. And it's been a fun event. And freaking Andy will be happy to be here. I think he's the favorite. What could have happened in this area of the bracket is he could have faced up against Winchester or Viper, let's say. They all got upset. There's been a lot of upsets in this tournament. And Sorokuma has had a crazy run. The last 3 sets, he has won 3-2 to get here. So he's played a lot of games, which could really help you. And it's been unique in terms of how those sets have gone. In one of them, he was down 2-1, won 3-2. In another one, he was up 2-0 and then won 3-2. And then in the most recent one, in the quarters, he was down 2-0, won 3-2. So, like, reverse sweep, almost got reverse swept, and comeback. Now, the civ that has dominated this map has been Byzantines. And so Andy has what I consider to be by far the best civilization for the map here that started off. A civ that I've seen twice now, and it has not worked, but it's been unique, has been Jurchens. Barles started it. And Barles tried the rocket cart cut through the wood line and then sneaky trebs. But it didn't work against Lewis because Lewis built outposts and spotted it. And Byzantines have all that free vision. So if Andy is outposting, there might not be many surprises. And then Yo also tried it versus Hart, but Hart, kind of a similar thing, just kind of expected it. So I don't love the Jurchens because it hasn't worked. But if you factor in the way their eco works and there's no decay on all their hunts and whatnot, it should result in better res collected. And you have more food before you need to farm. So the economy is better than Byzantines. But it's just like, how are you going to spend your economy? And in my thinking, like, I am so sick of people just allowing Byzantines to walk forward and drop a castle without a lot of army. I want to see, like, I don't even care if it's random feudal age army. Like, 5 archers, 5 spears. I really think that's enough to at least make sure that castle's back here. So that's my take. There's so much gold at the top. People are usually going for castles there. It's turned into the situation where everyone just, it's like castle v castle, no army to stop the castles. And then the Byzantines have a stronger castle and a cheaper imperial age to make trebs. I think the Byzantine player doesn't have to change a lot. But I think the Jurchen player maybe needs to try something different here. Usually we see the sides walled. So that may happen. There's some hungry crocodiles out there, so they have to be careful. Andy's going to wall this side. I'm assuming it's a wall and he's going to fall back. Technically, you could sneak over here. That strategy is a little bit more common on this map when it's not sudden death. But Andy's walking pretty far forward. It might just be because of the relics. And yeah, he will actually encounter Sorokuma, and that's just perfect timing from Andy. Expect a lot of that today, where he just gets the walls down and the defense down at the perfect time. So that boxes Sorokuma out from these 2 relics. Sorokuma is on the way up already. The only stone they have is in the corners, so if players want to mine the stone, they will have to go there for that. Doesn't look like that's Sorokuma's plan right now. Which tells me that there's some deviation from the thing that I was talking about, right? The castle drop strat. What's up, Jake? Welcome. What's up, Robok? Leaker says, Sorkuma also won against my favorite to win this tournament. He did, yeah. He beat me. I was going to make the joke that Sorkuma was behind in the series against me, but not behind in losses, behind in population. Once or twice. He was really sweating. I mean, realistically, I was really close to winning one game. Could have maybe won a second. But yeah, he's insane. So Kuma's up really quick here. Now, what this could be is a bit of army play. He goes for the market and the blacksmith. The resources are balanced pretty much perfectly. We know how good the Byzantines can be, but if you can beat the Byzantines, that's a really good momentum play to start a semifinal here. Could it be cav archers? Could it be a couple grenadiers maybe for the map control in the middle? Will there be anything? Yes, we'll see. So Andy is walled here. And he will wall this way. And it's just a lot of walling to send villagers to both sides. And you only need the stone and gold here. You don't really even need the gold because you have this gold and then eventually the gold in the middle. So I like this approach. A lot of people are doing this. I think Sorkuma's kind of doing the same thing. No, actually, now that I say that, he's going to bring a villager. He might be inclined to try and get these relics. Because he can't get these two relics. Remember, you can't build a third or a fourth TC. So, with that not being an option, being on stone for... You're not going to be on stone really for any other reason than a castle. Could technically be the occasional tower, but unlikely that's the case. Sorkuma fights off the croc. And they do more damage than they used to do, so you have to be careful. Still no barracks, still no archery range for Sorkuma. Feels like fast imp. So I'd love for him to prove me wrong. But fast imping into a castle drop against Byzantines is like, I don't know. It's like if you got to choose a physical competition to compete against Michael Phelps, and you say, hey, bro, let's go swim. Maybe if you're up against Michael Phelps, you should say, let's go run. Like, I'm sure he could probably sprint decently enough. But he's not, like, the greatest of all time. Sorry for comparing a 25-year-old video game to athletes. But, you know, we're basically athletes. It's just, we're athletes with our minds. And with our fingers. And with our... Yeah, we're athletes. Don't use the spin and the run emote right now. Don't do me like that, chat. That's so freaking honestly, respect. That's so savage. What is T90 rambling about? Dude, I have nothing else to talk about. I've nothing else to talk about. It's boom. 0 kills, 0 deaths. And it's gonna be fast in from Sorkuma. And he's trying the same strategy, which we saw twice, and it did not work. I will say, I got real excited about it the first time, because this is pretty next level stuff. So if it works, this could be sick. What he wants to do is go for a rocket cart cut through here, and then take down this TC. And he might also simultaneously do it from the other side to take down this TC. So I think his plan is just to full avoid the middle almost. He will build a defensive castle. And he's adding camels. And he's adding spears. This is for if there is any military. Because he wants that forward castle. Will Andy outpost? Byzantines have so much vision already. I think if this villager outposts, it's key. Just because there's a little bit of precedent, right? Andy would have seen those games, I assume. I don't know. It is a weird situation, though. I mean, I'm watching every single game. And playing practice games. And, like... I don't know. It's a weird situation when the caster actually has a bit more information. I would assume Andy knows it. I'd be shocked if Andy doesn't know. And actually, Sorakuma's uptime is so quick. If he sees this castle here, he can actually start to treb this down. Andy is not expecting the imp timing to be worse for him. Siege Engineers was already in for the Jurchens here, which is cheaper and faster researching. And clearly Sorakuma is planning on cutting through. And then, oh my goodness, then down here he's got one too. Honestly, it's not even about taking down the TCs. I actually wouldn't hate this just to kill villagers. Sorakuma needs to make the treb, but he doesn't have the gold fort right away because he's researching heavy rocket cart. Now he has a treb on the way. And he has a Byzantine castle and a lot of vills nearby. So this isn't going to be like completely unattainable for him to hold this position. Quick maths here, but I think he can take 3 treb shots without any repairs and be in the same position as Sorakuma's castle right now. So that's still better for him. And he does not have an outpost over here. And he doesn't have an outpost over here, but he might catch a glimpse of these rocket carts right now. And Sorakuma is bringing vills, I believe, to drop a castle over here. Yeah, here he goes. Again, it didn't work before, but it's pretty epic to see it attempted. He's fully abandoning the top? All right, well, like, rip his eco then. His eco is going to be... Half his eco is going to be walking. Andy's eco is actually going to be working. If Andy knows this is coming, and he could maybe see the vills there, it would make sense for him to drop his own castle right now. But there is a rocket cart rolling. And, yeah, there's the castle now. And Sorakuma is just not going to be in time with what he wants to do here. He wants his own castle. But Andy's is already on the way up. And now Andy has villagers to repair his castle. And Andy has the Byzantine castle. And, well, Sorakuma is going to try anyways. He's going to lose these vills, so you might as well try it. If he gets the castle up... Oh! Oh my god! Andy lost his other TC to villagers with sappers. If Sorakuma completes this castle, he can actually do this. Yes, that was a T90 blinds moment. I didn't expect this to have any chances. Can he actually do it? He gets the castle up! No way! Guys... Andy will die if he loses this TC. He doesn't have trebs here. He's not taking down Sorakuma's 2 town centers yet. I think Andy's going to die. Sorakuma is massing petards right now, and he can wait. You can actually... It doesn't feel right to have patience in this moment, but you can wait. Because you just need to wait for those 5 petards. 5 or maybe it's 6. He's distracting. He distracted with the Vil so the 1 petard could hit. Andy needs to... Andy has a real issue. He has to get to this TC. I guess, or wait until Sorakuma runs out of resources. Because Sorakuma can't actually make any more petards. Oh my god. Andy's trying to wall up. Yo, the petards! The petards get sniped! Andy's taking down the castle! Sorakuma has to go with his Vils. Sorakuma has to send his Vils onto that TC. No way. No way. It's not going to be enough. Andy's going to hold. Andy actually holds. And Andy will actually have economy. He ran out of wood. He ran out of wood. Imagine if the petards would have hit. And GG's called. Damn. That was crazy. I mean, again, crazy stuff. It was super YOLO, but that's the game mode. And Andy holds on. For anyone wondering, why does he resign? Well, he committed everything to this. He doesn't have any working villagers. he will be up against actual military at this point. I saw my Twitch chat mention sappers, but I wasn't really paying attention. My apologies. Yeah, the sappers move makes your villagers do more damage against TCs. And Andy wasn't looking here, right? Andy was just looking here. I think if Sorakuma had a little bit more food, and Andy maybe wasn't as attentive with repairing and the tower and the walls and whatnot, there is still chances for Sorokuma to take this TC down. That was really, really close. Damn. Well, fun way to start the series, guys. Maybe the most unique Jungle Rumble game we've seen in the whole tournament. Just because a lot of them have been the fast imp approach versus the fast imp approach in the middle. And Andy takes the first game. Sorokuma just literally sent everything there. He sent his whole eco here to Bill Rush this TC, and then he sent his whole eco here to go after this TC. Damn. That was really close. Andy obviously probably killed a ton more, and Andy also collected a lot more resources because his villagers were actually working there. And he will be happy. He will be breathing a sigh of relief that he actually won that game, because losing against that could really tilt you a little bit. I know it's a long series and you're not expecting to win every game if you have a healthy mindset, but like losing that would be crazy. And people want to see the TC going down again before we hop out. Yeah, no problem. I mean, like Andy is full focused here right now. Andy's like, if I defend this, I win the game. The last thing he's expecting is this. So I think he noticed right when I noticed almost. Yeah, so the Vills go in. And he repositions his Vills as well so the rocket cart doesn't kill them. Or kill them all. And look how fast it goes down. That's crazy. Sappers is no joke. I think they actually buffed Sappers at one point. But yeah, unfortunately, he has no resources. He couldn't make a Treb. That's the sad thing, is he couldn't get his Trebs there. Maybe had he brought these Trebs, maybe that was actually the mistake. Guess he shouldn't have been Trebbing here at all. And if he had rolled in with these Trebs and looped around the sides and come in and hit the TC at the same time, he wins it. But, I mean, it's such a crazy scenario. It's hard to suggest much more than that. Oh, wait a second. Hold up. Andy actually walled the Trebs. Andy actually walled the Trebs. Damn, there was a lot of details here. Yeah, the one Treb was on the move, and it couldn't make it because Andy added the walls. But, I mean, even still, though, right? I think my point still stands. The initial Trebs going after the castle, those Trebs could have come with, like this Treb could have come with, you're at least getting one Treb there. Shoot. Crazy game, crazy game, crazy game. All right. All right, so last game was so crazy. We spent a lot of time talking about it, but it was a really bad timing on that because this map is normally really heavy lane. We have Andy. He's playing as the Mayans. He came forward to try and steal a boar. Doesn't see this boar on the right side yet. If he sees it, he could make the move for it. Sorokuma does see his boar is there. And he has had to fight back the villager that's come forward, has brought his mule cart so he can take what's left of the deer. Yeah, he wants to kill this villager from Andy right now. Feels important to do so because Mayans have an extra Vill. Andy's tried to use that Vill lead for, an even bigger lead with the lame. And Sorokuma's blocking. Sorokuma's being patient. He won't allow himself to attack because there will create some separation, and he kills the villager. And that's huge now because Andy also was unable to find this boar. Actually, that's not true. He did find the boar, but he's not taking it. The Georgians, great for this start. You don't need to have anything on wood. The mule cart is free. And now, Sorokuma has already brought his villagers forward. And he wants to lame Andy here. He does see a deer, so he could shoot those down. And there's lots of pigs right here, man. Again, he knows his boar is here too. If Andy tries to steal it right now, Sorokuma might be in position, and Andy is going to try and steal it. Sorokuma has the scout here, though. So he sees the boars moving. He's got Vills as well. I mean, he could potentially block this thing. They're going to be clicking like crazy right now. We got gates. We got Andy also bringing a villager to help out, which is a really heads-up play. And Andy is killing the scout from Sorokuma. He might end up getting this boar. Oh, wait a second. No way that just happened. Andy has to de-aggro. Andy has to use a gate. Really specific scenario. He will try a diagonal gate or something to de-aggro this. Let's see. Nah, he can't. Sorokuma's blocking him. Damn, that was really well played. Sorokuma got the blocks in. Now Sorokuma's scout goes down, though, which isn't what you want, and his villager could go down. But at least he gets his boar. He gets his boar. He also gets these 3 pigs. If he can bring them home, he should have way more food to work with. Sorry, guys, a lot happening. We can't really talk strategy. This is all about the early game lames, and this has become common. And then after this, we tend to see fast castles. And the Georgians and the Armenians have been dropping churches, which seems really strong. And that eagle is doing its best to block, but Sorokuma blocking with the stronger Vil. Sorokuma is bringing more Vils, trying to save her, but she is dead. But, I mean, if this is a long-term Vil war, okay, which I guess it won't be, Sorokuma will go home now. It would be better for the person that can continually produce Vils and who has the food. The Sorokuma will finish off his deer, no problem. Andy hasn't really been doing that as much. Like, Andy is going to struggle to have the food to even go feudal here. This is funny from Sorokuma. He knows that eagle's out there, and he doesn't want to risk the pigs being taken. So he's actually going the whole way around his base, coming over this way to get those pigs home. He doesn't actually need to do that, but he doesn't know where the eagle is, so it's a smart play. And Sorokuma's on the way up. Damn, he's up really fast. Yo, Oddsto, what's up? Thank you for the Prime. Thank you, BJ Storm, for the Prime. Call me Mr. Banner. And Subasai, welcome back, guys. Also, what's up, Fenriz? You're welcome. So, this is the rare Feudal Age attack on Koala. We saw it all the time in the early rounds of this tournament. I don't think a fast castle is achievable here. I would expect a barracks from Sorokuma. A little sad he lost his scout. But I would say, like, maybe scouts could still be an option. Maybe archers. You can kind of go for anything now. I mean, the base isn't walled for Andy. The berries are forward, so you can always pester the berries. Eagle's actually coming back this way now, so won't be able to get those pigs. It's not perfect timing on whatever attack this is, because the barracks isn't up yet. But it'll be right around where it needs to be. And I think there's enough scouting done from Sorokuma to know he can at least harass. He can take the berries here. Matt the Snowflake, first time chatter, says he is not reading chat XD. That was a nice little bait there, Matt. Welcome. That might be the best way to get a response from me, is to claim that I will not respond. Then it's a challenge, you know? I am indeed reading chat, though. Yeah, so these Vils are just hanging out here. Probably an archery range. There's the archery range. And he doesn't see this. And he's just healing up the eagle. It's very slow, but you can't actually do that because it's an infantry unit. But the downside is you don't get to scout and see what the opponent's doing. I think arguments could be made he really needs to be scouting right now, but I think Andy's just so good. He knows a feudal age time that fast isn't a fast castle with only 2 boars. And he will play with the safest method he can, add a spearman in case it scouts. Now he sees the range. Now he knows it's going to be some ranged unit, and he already has his own archery range anyways. Sorokuma doesn't know about this. There's weird capture age lag there. Yeah, he doesn't know about the opening yet. And the one archer opening's kind of weird. The forward mule cart's also kind of weird. But one archer into some skirm follow-up is still fine. Andy's actually going to make multiple archers. The thing you have to remember about Andy, guys, is he's just so calm under pressure. He's so chill. And he just makes it look so easy when things get crazy or pressure comes in or a high-pressure moment. He just seems to be so relaxed. I think he is genuinely relaxed in these moments as well. Like, just knowing his personality. And he kills the archer. And now he has more eagles in the queue to potentially push back skirms. Does end up losing that archer, which is unfortunate. He wanted to go heal that as well. But he's Mayans. His resources last longer. He has plenty of farms now. He has good economy. Sorokuma still on the pigs, but will need farms like Andy. And things are looking pretty smooth for Andy. He is about to get housed, potentially. Or no, he is currently housed, so he can't produce Vils right now. So the aggression kind of adds up there. T90, why no Bulgarian Krepos rushes on this mode? Fast forward Krepos sounds really good. Well, because you know exactly what's coming every time. There's only 2 things the Bulgarians can do better than other civs, so it's super predictable. And whereas Mayans and Georgians and all these civs, they have a variety of different things that they can do. Bulgarians also struggle at this rank because of no eco bonuses. So most civilizations that are played have some economic lead. If you don't have an eco bonus, again, it's like, you don't have an eco bonus, and whatever military attempt you're going to go for is very predictable. So I've talked about this before. I think if this was a mid-rank tournament, or if this was a low-rank tournament, Bulgarians would be S tier. But at this level, it's like, Bulgarians are in kind of that weird spot where the eco's not quite good enough, and their strategy is a little too predictable. And I just don't think it's comfortable for the players. You want to have a civ that you can play a variety of different things, ideally. Like right now, Sorakuma has gone archers and he's gone scouts. And he's gone skirms. If he wants to, he can mix in scouts and go knights. If he wants to, he can still play crossbow. If he wants to, he can still drop churches. So with Mayans, I guess, are an example of a civ that isn't actually crazy flexible because you can't make a stable. But the economy makes it worth it, and Eagle Archer, Eagle Skirm, Eagle Monk, Eagle Pike is shown to be pretty solid here. So yeah, anytime there's a forward range, and this used to be a conversation that I would have a lot more. I used to be like, Dave, now what's the problem with a forward archer range? And he'd like sigh because I was always setting him up to repeat the same thing. But the issue with a forward archer range or forward building of any kind is now you can't defend yourself if they counterattack you. So one of the best things you can do against a player who goes forward on you is counterattack. As you can see, Sorakuma doesn't have defense prepared for this. Guys, Andy is just so freaking good. He's killed a villager. This combo of consistent eagle production with archers has looked really strong, and Sorakuma does loop on home. But Andy's already angling towards Castle Age here. This is a really good game from Andy. Just so relaxed under pressure, man. I was thinking we might actually see Bulgarians today, though. There's actually a chance we might see it because it's 7 maps. So you're picking more civs. And you never know what the random bans look like. For all I know, Bulgarians could have been random bans. Maybe that was part of someone's plans. We got archers and eagles pushing this back. It's just not an army that's strong enough for Sorakuma. Eagles are great against ranged units, especially when it's a main mix of skirms. The archers here can pick off any of the archers behind from Sorakuma. And the range is still a little bit of a liability as Andy's on the way to Castle Age. Yeah, I see some people are getting ads now. I'll crank the ads in between games. I didn't have time to do it in between games because they were immediately in game 2, so I guess people are seeing ads, so they can't hear me explain this, but always do my best with that. Sorakuma is up. Stables coming from behind. I think that Andy should expect this because he's already pushed back the range units and the archer range is not producing anymore. So it does make it fairly predictable from Andy's perspective that his opponent will do this. Andy's really heavy on stone, though. So I wonder if Andy's thinking he's so far ahead that he can push in with early Castle Age and drop a forward castle. Obviously, it would end the game, but really risky to just assume you're going to be able to walk forward like that if knights are going to come forward. Okay, well, now we're getting a lot of people subscribing. So maybe I should just run ads only during the game. I'm kidding. I won't do that. That'd be a jerk move. Thank you guys for the subs. That does mean you don't get the ads, but I will still try and run them in between games. Be careful though, guys. Don't subscribe all at once. You're giving me bad ideas. Yeah, skirms get pushed back. The nice thing there from Sorakuma, he did kill all the archers. So it's no longer an archer play for Andy, most likely. Andy is bringing a lot of vills forward here. I think this is just for a defensive castle. When he sees Sorakuma's in Castle Age, he cannot go forward anymore. He's just going to buy the stone, drop a castle on the front. Going to castle drop forward when knights could be on the way is so risky. Is he still doing it? Dude, guys, there can be like 4 or 5 knights by the time... No way! Okay, hey, if he gets the quick walls, it's doable. But this is so risky. He doesn't know the knights are coming, but I feel like he should. He's killed off every single skirm. It's sudden death. It's sudden disaster. And this could be a very sudden disaster for Andy. Sorokuma has to stop this. Andy's brought a lot of vills. Sorokuma will drop a tower to attempt to deny this. His knights are focusing down some villagers. We have quick walls from Andy. There's 14 villagers here. They're still building. The castle's at 50%. He also brought some eagles to attack the villagers building the tower. If the castle goes up, it is probably game over. And even though it was risky, worth the risk for Andy. I mean, not even close. He also is killing villagers from Kuma. And he wins the game with that. What a play from Andy so far. Andy's just so good. In game 1 was a masterpiece attempt from Sorokuma, and it was close. This game here, Andy just played so smooth in Feudal Age. That's the thing, is like when you think of Andy, he's really good on the close maps. So I think it's very easy to convince yourself that he's not going to be capable on a map like this. People say, oh, this is similar to Arabia. Andy's super capable in those settings as well. Particularly when you need to be aggressive or like, you know, either extreme, really defensive or really aggressive, which is what this game mode is. I would not have gone for this castle forward. I considered this too big of a risk. Andy calculated it perfectly. And, yeah, Sorokuma has nothing he can do from here. With that castle up on his doorstep, his TC will eventually go down. His eco's completely cooked. And Andy can even just pop out with these vills and take the gold. So... freaking Andy has won 2 games. This is where I should remind you all that Sorokuma lost the first 2 games in his quarterfinal and then ended up winning 3-2. So if I didn't have that in the back of my mind, I'd be really worried for Sorokuma. I mean, I am still really worried for Sorokuma, but he's done it before. He just needs to start to get a taste of victory here. All right, guys. So again, sorry, they're just... I try and sum up a game and they're immediately into it. We're a minute in. Thankfully, we didn't miss any action. Andy has the best civilization for this map, and he picked it early on his draft, and that's the Mongols. There's hunt everywhere. Crazy hunt bonus for the Mongols. If Andy's taking the hunt, he's always going to have the lead. That said, this is a civilization that Sorokuma has used before, the Khitans, and if they can get enough pastures down, they're really dominant, and I think with their scouts and their lancers can be dangerous against virtually everybody. And you can tell Sorokuma is trying to stop Andy from pushing in any hunt right now with his starting scout. And he actually brought his villager down here to bring his sheep. So this is interesting. He's on straggler trees at the moment. He's actually going to bring villagers, I assume, to mill the middle. But usually, the Mongol player is able to get enough hunt before you get there to stop him. And then they can come mill the middle as well soon after if they're not able to push anymore. So, in theory, what Sorokuma has tried to do here makes sense. But it's just so tough. You don't know where the opponent is. So it's not easy to keep him off of the hunt. Andy sees this. Andy knows now. And Andy has some decisions to make. I would say Andy will just get Loom. And he'll just come Vil fight it. He already gained a lot of hunts. He can't leave the hunt. He's going to get sneaky now. Sorokuma will see this. And now Sorokuma would have to bring more villagers to stop this, in theory, right? Wet Goat's Milk, thank you for the 11 months. Irregular Mole, thank you for the new sub. What are these names? What are these usernames, man? Hey, it's okay, it's okay. A sub's a sub, but also, are your parents proud of you? Like, how many of your parents know your online usernames, chat? I guess my parents know mine. Hold on, this is interesting. Are you able to somehow drop off the hunt at the pasture? Like a mill? Because if that's the case, this could be insane. You're supposed to have 2 villagers working on it. I'll keep an eye on that. It doesn't seem to be working efficiently because the villagers are just standing around. Maybe there's a way to do it. It just requires a lot of clicking. I mean, Sorakuma's certainly coming here with a unique plan, right? It's not like he's just has no ideas here, but I've been seeing Andy collect hunt more often than not, which is going to be an issue. And Andy's already collected 300 more resources. Usually, if Mongols are available, you want to try and snipe them. You're really hoping the random bans ban them. You don't have any bans as a player. So far, no villagers have gone down. I still need to see what's happening here. I think Sorakuma would have to manually click to the pasture to drop it off. It shouldn't auto-drop off like a mill. But then does it drop it off? Oh, wow. Okay, so he's clicking the hunt in the pasture, and then it drops it off. He's not clicking the pasture itself. Interesting. Okay. Well, he's lost a vill. He's going to lose another vill. And Andy's bringing militia now. And Andy just feels like he can do no wrong today, guys. This has just been so smooth from him. And then you built the pasture. You might as well have made a mill because, like, your pasture's not doing anything. Not really benefiting from it. I think... Guys, this isn't looking very good, especially if Andy continues to make more militia here. Andy now kills another villager. All the Black Forest experience. I guess that villager hasn't died yet. This isn't easy, by the way. You have to be blocking constantly. You also still have to produce your own villagers. It's very easy to overextend. Sorakuma loses another vill. Andy trying to escape with that one. The key is if you're still taking hunt if you're Andy. He's really not. So things could get a little too crazy here. I actually think you need to, like, fight back, but then immediately take hunt if you're Mongols. He's saving this villager right now with some blocking with the militia. The Sorakuma is going to vill fight this with fresh villagers, and now Andy is rotating in a fresh batch. It's a night shift now, so the day shift goes home. They go back to the town center. Even the militia. And the night shift is coming in. And the night shifters haven't had their coffee yet, so they're real grumpy. I mean, I think this is definitely one where you just have to look away from res collected and just look at vills and how healthy they are at this point. Sometimes if you go too far, you can't go back in these vill wars, because giving up on the vill war means you give up on the hunt. But seems like Andy is changing his thought process now and is thinking more about taking the hunt instead of the vill wars. And Andy forgot these two vills. Andy forgot these two vills. That would be two dead vills. Maybe over here Andy was making some big plays. He's bringing out more militia now. He actually built a mining camp on gold, so he will be making more and more. He is making another mill over here for more hunt. But villager count is even now. Obviously, no military for Sorakuma, and it just seems like Andy's blocking is so good. I think he's one of the best in the world at it. That was amazing. It's the difference offensively and defensively. He won't allow himself to get blocked and surrounded in a vill war, but then he will block and surround. Again, this is... Yes, you can technically utilize this, and yes, you can click the hunt in the pasture and manage it, but it's, like, really difficult to focus on that compared to just placing a mill and having your villagers automatically drop off. Wouldn't surprise me if these villagers go home. He's so busy. I hate this from a purely focused standpoint. You're just not able to fully take advantage of the idea. Andy up to 4 militia. And yeah, Andy will just push all the villagers away from the middle now. This is exactly what the Mongols want. And he falls back over here to take hunt to the mill, which is crazy efficient. Has hunt here now, which is crazy efficient. I'd say Sorakuma's way back into this game is really fast feudal and really fast archers, though. Vill count won't matter if you get to, like, 4 archers, and Andy's still in Dark Age. He does have a mill. He does have a lumber camp. Obviously, the food count's looking pretty good here. He is painfully close to feudal age. 499! Oh, I hate that. Okay, he's up. He's up. He's up. He's up. I would say maybe start to think about abandoning the middle. And he's still making militia. Seems weird, but if Sorokuma fully abandons the middle, which he might have to do soon, Andy could just go tear down these houses with the militia. And I think Andy's realizing he needs to be on the way up. It got very quiet all of a sudden. And Andy, he can spend the food and recover because he's Mongols with the hunt. Sorokuma saving another Vil, well played. But Andy, I think, has Feudal Age queued up now. 7 military versus 0. Yeah, the pasture and a mill both cost 100 wood, so I think there's arguments that this pasture wasn't worth it. You can build pastures before a mill, so it wasn't like he had to build the mill and then do the pastures, but it's just tough. I mean, Andy's draft has been good to put himself in these positions, right? Like the first game, he had Byzantines. This game, he has Mongols. These are all civs that have looked really good in the maps. But, I mean, also, Andy's just seems to be one step up here from Sorokuma today. Very nice mix of offense and defense. Pathing there is getting kind of weird. You know he probably just clicked all of his units up here, and 2 of the units decided to go that way. So, okay, he loses a militia there. And now Sorokuma is in Feudal Age. Would need to see an archer range. I don't know, man. I think Sorokuma is trying to be too crazy. I'm not seeing a lot of self-belief right now from this guy. Why are we going spears? Because they mass spears 25% faster? I mean, I guess spears and Vils beat militia and Vils in some ways. But now once it's man-at-arms, now you're stuck on spearmen. I don't think he was expecting Andy to be up. He did get a lot of spearmen very quickly. The fights are happening before Man-at-Arms comes in. I would have loved to see an archer range. Still hasn't added the archer range. Now he'll have to do it. And look at Andy's resources, guys. Andy will add an archer. Man-at-Arms is in. And Sorokuma... I mean, I've been there. It's just not happening for him right now. And freaking Andy's got to be loving life. Best of 7, but... Andy's super far ahead. The Man-at-Arm upgrade will shred. Andy has his first archer on the way as well. Before Sorokuma even has the skirm. And Andy could have clicked castle. I don't mind getting wheelbarrow. And look at him heal up his Man-at-Arms in his TC. It's just so unique. You do not see people do this stuff frequently at a high level in AoE. Like healing up Man-at-Arms. I guess he's able to do it because he is so far ahead. He doesn't need all of his units together, but it's still a really unique play. Tower in the middle near the range. Another mill behind to still dominate and take the hunts. And tracking these spearmen here. And Andy even getting armor for his infantry right now. I don't think you're able to steal a pasture, but I'm not really sure. I've never tried. But it's right there underneath your tower, so you could probably try to do that. Sorokuma walling up behind. This has just reached the stage where there is nothing Sorokuma is doing strategically. They're just in completely different worlds. With 2,500 additional resources, Andy is able to do so much more. And he's still being patient with his army. The skirms are massing fast for Sorokuma. The pastures are coming up. This is the stage where Khitans can compete with Mongols. But almost feels like too little too late. He's going to rush the tower down. He needs something crazy. Andy's on the way to Castle Age. So that tower can be battered down. But Andy's army has gotten through in the back. I'm not sure how. It looked like this was walled up. 1 villager down. That's going to be 2 villagers down now as Sorokuma is forced to drop a tower. There's no other option here. I think tower is the only thing you can do. He's going to lose another villager to the man-at-arm. No. And then Andy is fighting his back. Mixing in more man-at-arms. I see scouts now. He's repairing his tower. He's Vil fighting like a god. Tower's probably going to go down. But he's actually killing off villagers from Sorokuma as this happens. 30 seconds from Castle Age here for Andy. Andy can make knights. Andy can make lancers. And Andy even sniped a villager underneath the TC, which I don't even know he was trying to do. He probably just ended up there by mistake, and there were some weak villagers there. Oh, no. Everything is going wrong for Sorokuma. This is where you have to use some real positive thinking to try and talk your way back into the series here. And I guess the thought that comes to mind for me is like, it can't possibly be worse than this in the next games, right? Like, that would be my dad. My dad's like the eternal optimist and is really difficult growing up, actually. Because if something bad happened, he would be like, well, at least it's not this. And I'm like, thank you, Dad. That doesn't exactly help me in this scenario. But, yeah, at least you're not a Loey the Legend, Sorokuma. At least, you know, pastures are strong and, well, yeah, I mean, at least Mongols are out of the way. We've got Siege on the way. We've got Lancers on the way. Obviously, Sorokuma knows he's probably dead, but maybe he's trying to work off some of the rust and some of the negative emotions he's feeling right now, because this is not what he would have wanted. It's crazy with how good Sorokuma's looked throughout the whole tournament to make it to the semifinals, that it's this big of a gap right now. GG. But, I mean, if there's anyone who is going to be able to adapt with Mongols on this map, it's going to be freaking Andy. He saw the Vil Rush. He accepted the Vil Rush. He adapted to it perfectly. The additional militia was fantastic. It was like the perfect amount of Vil fighting while simultaneously taking the hunt. The perfect amount of army while simultaneously going up through the next stages. He showed patience. He showed aggression. And he is up 3-0 right now. And now Sorokuma, this would be a crazy reverse sweep. In the quarterfinals, he was down 2-0. He won 3-2, but now it needs to be 4 in a row. That would be a crazy task here. Yeah, food count's not even close. Gold count's not even close. This game was a stomp, man. And here we are. All right, so it's been a speed run so far for Andy. Recording time for me, 51 minutes, and that's not even cutting out some of the filler stuff in between games. To be fair, there hasn't actually been a lot in between games. Sorokuma, he needs some hope right now. Can we get some smiles in chat? Get some positive vibes for my guy Sorokuma. Sorokuma is playing as the Vietnamese. He needs some smiles. He needs some belief. He has a good start. He'll bring in his elephant right away. Andy will find his elephant. There's only one elephant on the map. And there's also only one patch of zebra for both players. And Andy immediately comes over here and is going to try to steal the zebra. You see how immediate that was? That's so good. It was immediate. He didn't even hesitate. And he's like, okay, I know what's going on here. We're going to try and push zebras. And I'm going to take yours. And now Sorokuma is like, bro, you've already taken 3 games off me. Don't take my zebra. This is because there weren't enough people that smiled in chat. This is chat's fault. Now Andy gets the first hit. Sorokuma will follow. Both players will bring a villager right now to try and fight this back. Really important to have your scout alive. Sorokuma gets the hits he wants, but Andy kills the zebra. Sorokuma will just try and shoot these down now as well. It's really nice to have the scout HP lead because Andy can't push in a zebra. He can't really block much. But they're just going to do the same thing. They both snag loom. They'll both shoot the zebra, and then they'll just walk home, I guess. So what this eliminates in my mind is a very easy fast castle. It's just one elephant, and then the zebras are going to be inefficiently taken. We've seen Koreans go spears and skirms and towers a lot. I actually really like Koreans on this map. Vietnamese have cheaper eco upgrades and good spears and skirms too, so they could do that. Pretty even matchup, I'd say. Andy will mill outside now and take what's left of these zebras as they're rotting on the ground. And that's an interesting approach. He could have just milled the berries and walked, but the berries are always going to be there. The berries aren't going to decay or spoil. Golds, always outside of your walls here. And so scouting's important for that because you might need to move around to different golds and stones. But yeah, Koreans tower rushing, especially if they keep those towers up once they're in castle age, is really, really strong here. All right, so I finally have a little bit of time to tell you guys this. So, guys, I've been at this for, feels like a lifetime now, okay? I've been full AoE 2, living and breathing it since 2012, okay? In all this time, I've never really had family members or friends, and I'm talking family members or friends that, like, are... Like, friends that are not within the game. Obviously, I have some friends. You guys are friends, right? You don't count. I'm talking like real life friends, family members really play this game. I had my brother join for 24-hour stream. He played a lot growing up, but like no one has actively played this game. I've tried to get them to, and they just don't. Okay, so I got a text from my uncle last night. Now, the real dedicated viewers will remember this is the same uncle that has complained about the way the War Galley upgrade works because he said he can't find fire ships because fire ships are on the second page of the dock. He mentioned that to me at a funeral 4 years ago. But so I knew he like casually played. But last night at 1 a.m., my uncle texts me, okay? And he says, let me read it off here. He says, your game is unforgiving. And then he said his win and loss rate. I'm not going to say this because I was able to find his profile. I don't want you guys to find it. That's between us right now. But let's just say he is a low elo legend. It's not been good, okay? He's at the elo where if I were to be casting it on Tuesday, people would show up and say, that number exists? He's super low. I said, no way. I said, you're playing? Like, I can't wait to watch. He goes, I can beat them to castle, ... It is from there I struggle, ... And I said, this is but the start of an amazing journey. I got you. I'm so pumped you're playing. He goes, it is fun, ... But frustrating, ... I mean, he's won like 1% of his games, okay? So I said, any particular units you enjoy making? Infantry, archers, like knights, etc. He goes, lol, I am not that sophisticated. He says, the elephants are cool and so are trebuchets. So, I'm super pumped, dude. I'm super freaking hyped. Now, I don't want to just like make content out of this right away because he's my uncle. And he might not want chat to be involved in this process, but I think this is a series. So my plan after stream today is I'm gonna watch through some of his games just for fun. I might give him some tips personally and make an unlisted video for him, and then I'll be like, hey, would you be interested in maybe viewers sharing with this journey? And if he doesn't want to do that, that's fine. I'll just tell you guys stories from it, but I think it'd be so fun. It'd be so fun. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. This is the first time, man. Like, he's playing a lot of ranked games. And just not doing very well. So, okay. So, Sorakuma's in feudal, a little bit faster here. He killed the scout. So, that's huge for him. Especially huge because Andy doesn't now have any vision on what Sorakuma's going for. And also, the eco upgrades are cheaper. The research faster for Vietnamese. So I'd say an ever so slight lead for Sorakuma right now. I think this is going to be a really chill game here because he just has the time to wall. Doesn't really see a lot from Andy. Andy will also add skirms. So everyone's favorite, skirmishers. T90, tell him to watch your streams then. He knows. He's watched and he's supportive and he's been fairly in the loop. I don't think he actively watches the streams and videos necessarily, but he'll text me occasionally, be like, you know, like he's actually texted me after all my big events. And actually, don't want to get too far down the line here, but oh, hold on. Very important skirm moment. Story on pause. We must watch the skirms. I don't want to show this moment to my uncle because he'll probably quit the game if he thinks this is how you're supposed to play. Okay, skirmisher's dead. Big moment for Andy. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, like back when I made the jump to go full time, basically everyone in my life was like, don't do it. Like the game has no official support from Microsoft. There's no official platform. The game is 20 years old. Streaming is not a thing. You know, gaming as a creator, all that stuff was... It's not like there was this long list of evidence that it was possible. But he and my aunt were like, freaking do it. They were like, you're good at it. You're amazing. You love it. You should do it. So they've been really supportive for a long time. So he's definitely the MVP. All right, so tower now from Sorakuma. Andy sees this. And Andy will drop a tower, but Andy can't drop more towers unless he leaves his base for stone. And Sorakuma is protecting this stone. Sorakuma stopped building his tower, built an outpost instead. Andy now, it will stop building his tower, but he stopped building his tower too late, guys. If he deletes that tower now, he won't have enough stone for another tower. At least I think so. It's at 59%. He still didn't want to like build a tower he didn't need. And now he might as well just complete it at this point. So Sorakuma kind of baited him into that. Which might have been part of his strategy. Because now Sorakuma could delete his tower. Still have enough for another tower. And then maybe come tower the other side. Where Andy can't build one. Yeah, he actually towers here now. Andy knows about the stone. But Sorakuma has the scout camping there. So he's got full vision. He'll protect this gold. He knows about this gold. He knows about the stone. I think this is where things could start to get a little crazy here. Because this is definitely ramping up for more towers. And now that there's units outside of the walls, I could definitely see Sorakuma considering a stable for scouts. His eco's not amazing for that. So it might just be easier just to make skirms. And this is Andy we're talking about, so you'd expect the defense to be there. Scout, though, getting some valuable hits for Sorakuma. Skirmishers getting some good volleys from Sorakuma. Remember, he has the superior skirms. Andy, though, has enough stone for a tower right now if he needs it. Koreans do mine stone a lot faster here. And nice house walls there from Andy. Kills the scout. Yeah, see, now it's tough to know what to do. Do you even come tower this when Andy can just counter tower you? And now hold up. Andy's deleted his walls and he's attacking this tower, but it thinks better of it. The answer is Sorakuma will come tower this. And Andy sees it. And Andy has a ton of vills on stone. He's got 11 villagers on stone right now, and he'll definitely complete a counter tower. I don't even think Sorakuma's will go up. So now you've got 2 towers decently placed for Andy. If he can make it to Castle Age, and that's guard tower, protects everything he needs except for the gold. So I think he'll eventually try and sneak out here and build a castle for the gold. I actually think Sorakuma might outpost soon. And he's seen most of the map, but he might get real paranoid that Andy is on a gold right now because Andy hasn't made a massive push back for it. Andy's actually shooting this tower down right now with 3 villagers. We should all thank T90's uncle that this game is still alive. I'll make sure to tell him that. T90 Unk emote win. Villager backs away for Sorakuma. 6-6 on the KD. And Andy will have no issues pushing this tower away. Sorakuma's... He's really struggled with the tower positions. He's placed his towers underneath a pre-existing tower from Andy. Like, this one being shot down is pretty painful. I guess Andy didn't have fletching then, so maybe he didn't get the gauge on it. But yeah, now this tower is underneath both the towers. So this tower never stays up for Sorakuma. It's not even close. So that's a wasted tower for Sorakuma. And then Andy can trap the vills! Andy can trap these villagers. They could all die to the towers. Andy's getting quick walls. Really dangerous for Sorokuma. He's lucky. That could have been 4 dead vills. In fact, Andy will be kicking himself it wasn't 4 dead vills. Castle Age needs to come in fast for both. Sorokuma is dropping a stable now for some scouts against the skirms. Andy balancing his resources with the market here. And interesting to me that he didn't immediately try and drop a tower here. It almost feels like he's trying to do the math on how much he needs for a castle, and he's waiting for that. And I'm trying to do the math. 180 stone available to mine. He's got 45 gold in his hands. Or 45 stone in his hands. So he actually has enough, just enough, to get to a castle. So I think Andy will sell off wood, get enough for one night, get enough gold for one night, make the night, push with the skirms, take this position, and drop a castle to protect it. Now, is it going to be a forward castle? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, he doesn't know Sorokuma's walled, but he is. But even a castle here, just to protect the gold, and then having a tower here and a tower here would be really strong. Actually, you can tower within your walls as well. It's kind of weird, but Sorokuma has a lot of walls built into Andy's walls. I think Andy is feeling confident enough. I mean, he's up 3-0 right now. He's feeling like he can just end the series right now. Maybe enjoy the rest of his Saturday. In a way he wasn't expecting. He wasn't expecting to have this much time. Here he goes. Skirm v Skirm. Exciting. Wow. Scouts coming out here from Sorokuma, which should scare Andy. This is what I mean. Like, Andy's taking an unnecessary risk here. Now Sorokuma will freak out because he sees Andy's up. Andy's dropping a tower there. He doesn't have a knight on the way. This will be a guard tower, obviously. It does build a lot faster than a castle would. And Sorokuma will look to rush this down. He can't lose this position. Tower will go down pretty quickly, but Andy will repair it and garrison it. And then there's a knight on the way, and this might be the end. I don't think this is gonna end well for Sorokuma's villagers here. And he's got 5 villagers in there firing arrows, and now a knight's here. We do have Bodkin for Sora. The tower is still almost down. Andy needs to focus the villagers with the knight. Andy won't have a stone anymore. Hold up. Andy won't have stone anymore for a castle. There's a chance. There's a very good chance for Sorokuma. Andy still doesn't have gold. Andy should have just built the defensive castle, man. If he just went for the defensive castle, he could be mining gold right now. He would have the castle. He would be making war wagons, and they would be in a very strong position. But he does recover. I guess it was kind of even in terms of damage dealt there. As Sorokuma will drop a monastery. He sees the castle's on the way. There's nothing he can do about it, and he's saving for his own castle. But he's pretty far away from having his own castle. And he needs monks right now. 1 or 2 monks to help out against wagons would be the most immediate threat. And then eventually you can also keep the skirms in the mix too. Yeah, war wagon will be very late for Andy. Sorokuma will be okay. It's awkward. But with 1 monk coming out, he can still kind of be okay. And he's even disrupting the gold right now. A knight will come over. But there's a knight, there's a monk. Andy's got the first wagon there. And elite skirmishers on the way for Sorokuma. He'll have elite skirm and he'll have monks. That's very good against what Andy has. Where that becomes problematic is if Andy adds siege, but when you're under this much pressure, the timings are not going to be perfect. And now he adds the siege workshop. And is Sorokuma, is he about to drop his own castle here? If he drops it here, it takes Andy off of gold. At least until Andy moves over to this gold. And he's dropping a tower. Ooh, that's a really interesting preemptive tower. That might actually prevent the castle from going up. So Sorokuma repositions now. Andy's got 4 wagons. There's only 1 monk for Sorakuma. He has more in queue, but he's housed at the moment. Andy will see this. And he will obviously know this castle's a problem. And he's going to back away. So he's moving over to this gold. So that's an extra 1,600 gold. That'll last him some time. But Sorakuma still has all of this gold. And Sorakuma can see this. So Sorakuma, he's locked in, guys. He's locked in. Sorakuma's back. There's something about this guy. He falls behind and he's able to find another level. He is locked in. He sees the gold. He knows exactly what Andy's going to try and do. The castle's now up. He can mine more stone there if he wants. He has wood. He has gold. He has good eco. And Andy is just kicking himself. Like, the defensive castle ahead of time would have been so good. But, you know, that's what I thought in the Koala game as well. I thought he should just go defensive castle, but then he went forward castle and won the game. Oh, man, rocket cart. Dangerous. Really dangerous, and now Andy can take gold again. I think you might need to consider guard tower yourself here if you're Vietnamese. It becomes very difficult once it's wagons and also siege. I'm actually checking right now. I rarely fall into this situation. But yeah, guard tower is available for Vietnamese. I would love a tower here and the university and the guard tower upgrade. If this becomes multiple rocket carts with the wagons, this could get very dangerous. The Sorakuma is actually on this gold. You might be thinking about Imperial Age. Because it's castle v castle. Sorakuma with the micro. And Sorakuma takes down the rocket cart. Worth it to lose a couple skirmishers for that. Now he can move forward against the wagons with his monks and his other skirms. Redemption's really pricey. I don't hate it, though. If Vietnamese get it, I think they do. No, they don't. Never mind. So yeah, Vietnamese don't get that as an option. Wagons are still pretty tanky even against skirms, but they need the rocket cart. Yeah, Sorakuma's angling towards the fast imp. Pretty clear. How this ideally goes for Sorakuma is he keeps his army alive for the next 4 minutes and wins once he upgrades the army and makes trebs. How this would go for at least one person in my chat is you're on the way to the Imperial Age, but then you lose all of your army right before Imp, and then your castle gets rammed down. So micro has to be perfect combined with this strategy here. And it could get very, very nerve-wracking. Especially against Andy. But Andy has really struggled to get the big rocket cart numbers he wants. He needs like 2 to 3 with the wagons. Okay, Knight gets a conversion there. Well played, Sorakuma. Sorakuma on the way to Imp. And they trade 1-for-1 with the siege. 1-for-1 trade is fine for now. You just need to keep those skirms alive. Keep the castle up for trebs. The skirms are still harassing over here, and Andy's waiting for another rocket cart. His siege workshop's actually going down, too. That might go down, and he might not notice one of the rocket carts gets canceled. Such close quarter engagements here. But Sorakuma's managed it well, guys. He's managed it very well. I love how confident he's been over here on the left side. I loved this castle. This castle's completely changed the game. I love the monks healing up his skirms. And now he'll see another rocket cart, so he has to respect the threat. There's the university, though, so he can snag ballistics. Maybe chemistry. This would be the time that I would lose my army. Just speaking from experience, this is where suddenly fights would get really good for Andy, and the game gets interesting. Monks are starting to go down. Rocket cart could maybe land some shots. Oh, that was so good. He actually converted a wagon in there. Immediate focus fire down the rocket cart. And used his skirms and got enough damage. That was so good. Vietnamese skirms are so strong, man. Feel like Andy could have maybe had another siege workshop over here a little earlier. He's repairing the other one now. So he did realize that was about to go down. But he's not going to build that one. And Sorakuma's micro is sick. And he'll be an imp with crazy resources. I think this is over, guys. Sorakuma's staying alive. He's going to need 3 more wins after this, but well played here. This is the Sorakuma people were getting hyped about. Finally able to get to the mid game and have it be somewhat even. Obviously, game 1 went late, but game 1 was just a masterpiece attempt from Sorakuma that didn't work out. But yeah, Bracer's in now. Chemistry will be in. The first Treb is already out to take down Andy's castle. And the micro from Sorakuma continues to be sharp. Rocket cart goes down. Yeah, Andy will lose everything to these skirms now. With these upgrades, Andy's wagons will go down significantly faster than they have been. And he's still taking the fights because war wagons are war wagons. But they're expensive. And Siege Workshop just now completes. No stone for Andy for more towers. Running out of gold now, so he'll have no gold anymore. The Trebs are on the way, and Sorakuma gets a win on the board. Well played from him there. I think... I mean, if Andy somehow loses this series, he will really be kicking himself. I think that's just an example where he's up 3-0. He walked forward with the castle before. And it's sudden death. Sudden death makes you do crazy things. Walking to the middle there was probably the mistake. I think he played Feudal Age well. I think if he didn't have so many issues with gold, he would have been able to make way more rocket carts, and the rocket carts would have had tons of time to find value. But he was really struggling for res, and his castle was so late. He was in Castle Age a minute faster, could have insta-built the castle to get full control of gold, be on rocket carts and wagons. Sorakuma was only ever able to take fights because of the numbers difference there. But credit to Sorakuma, because Sorakuma had to fight back a guard tower, had to add in scouts, and had he not done that, he would have lost the middle of the map and lost the game. So he was losing lots of fights. He had to be super consistent. That Imperial Age time took a lot of grit. And 1 win for Sorakuma. Let's go. All right, so game number 5. And we have Burmese against Burgundians. I made the joke yesterday that on closed map tournaments, sometimes it's just a race to the bees. I mean, think about it. Byzantines, Burgundians, Burmese, Bohemians. I guess Berbers aren't necessarily seen as super strong on some of these maps, even though I like them. The Mongols. Yeah, the Mongols, the Baztecs. I mean, B civs are just broken. The Banish. Nah, but we've got the Battle of the Bees here. Burgundians are definitely the better economic civ, but that's if things are able to play rather smoothly here. If it gets chaotic, Burgundians do not do all that well. They need to research the Rico techs early and usually get a lot of farms down. The Burmese are nice because the Burmese get the wood upgrades for free, and so then you could like max invest into some army. They have super cheap monk upgrades, strong infantry, so this will definitely be Sorakuma being aggressive. As for what he will do, I think you really have 2 options. Well, now let's say 3. I think Man-at-Arms is a valid option. Man-at-Arms into towers, maybe. Man-at-Arms into adapt to something. Arambai. So castle drop. There's stone on the back here, so maybe he tries that into Arambai. And then monks. And it could be a mix of Arambai and monks. It could be just monks. It could be just Arambai. I think the strategy that probably gives you your best bet here is Spear Monk. I say Spear Monk because if you just go just monks against Burgundians, they can go into light cap pretty easily. But let's see if we see any docks here. There is the potential to dock on the outside with a shorefish. Some players have been doing that. For now, the players are just fighting over whatever deer's in the middle and aiming to get a food boost here. But it's consistent. The golds and stones being on the front like that happens almost every gen. If anything, Andy's gold is a little too safe. I haven't seen that too frequently. So that's really fortunate as far as the main gold's concerned. But you do have a 4 tile on the back as well, so I think stone I guess there is always a 5-tile stone in the back as well. Yeah, because very rarely does anyone have their stone on the front. So I think main gold is always positioned to the front. Main stone's always positioned to the back. And then you don't have anything beyond the 4-tile gold outside your walls at the back. How do we rate this statue, guys? On a scale of 1 to 677. What are we thinking? I think I'm going to have to dock it a couple points because it's not centered in the middle of the island. So I think statue placement definitely, it loses some points. I think the fact that someone left their yoga mat out here kind of ruins the, it feels like it's litter. I guess it's not. And maybe that's not a yoga mat, but there's about to be a fist fight next to the statue. It's a decent statue. Andy came out with a bunch of vills and a dock, and Sorokuma was not expecting this. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, no. He died on the mat. Someone's going to come back to pick that up. There's going to be a body on it. Oh, God. Oh, jeez, dude. Well, that's bad. I mean, Sorokuma just didn't expect Andy to ever be there, and he didn't scout it because his scout was on the outside. He definitely has a plan, but I think his plan incorporated taking the food from the middle. I don't think he was expecting Andy to be out here, and he wanted to rush from the outside. But Andy is here in a big way. Andy takes down the mill. Andy will build his own mill right next to our favorite statue. And Sorokuma now going up fast, but he's down 2 vills. And whatever this villager's out here for, it needs to be very strong. Why would he not expect that? There's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't expect that. Burgundians usually aren't focusing on bringing vills to the middle. Burgundians are almost always building the docks and the mills on the outside because it takes time for them to cook. This is rare. Burmese are going to go man-at-arms a lot of the time, right? And so the last thing I would ever think if I'm playing Burgundians is to go to the middle and give value to man-at-arms because man-at-arms usually comes through the middle. So it looks bad for Sorokuma that he didn't have a scout there, but I think as far as logic goes, he was expecting more commitment to the outside, and he just guessed incorrectly, of course, right? And now Andy has no clue the villager's out here. And Sorokuma's actually attacking from the wrong side. He just guessed it wrong. Like, if this barracks is in the middle right now, he could actually come out here and maybe destroy this. It's really frustrating if you're in Sorokuma's perspective. I actually felt the same when I played against Sorokuma. I felt like my opponent did the wrong thing and benefited. And that's probably what he's thinking right now. He's like, how on earth am I, like, 2 villagers down and my whole strat is cooked? Okay, he drops an archer range. He drops the house. Andy's going to wall this out. This is so risky from Andy. To have so many vills exposed in the middle and still not be up to the next stage is crazy. But he has walled Sorokuma off for now from the middle. And archers are going to be on the way, and Andy's just going to drop more walls. There's just certain players, if they build a wall, you expect it. Oh, there's a hole. Never mind. I was just going to mention how casual Andy was about this and how you just expect this to never be an issue. But there's a hole. He loses a vill. He could lose a second vill. The archers are about to be through. Andy's still 90 seconds from the next stage. This is all really good for Sorokuma. The fact that he's able to get damage done, even just harassment in on eco is huge. Andy is saving the weak villagers very nicely, though. He's already saved 3 of them. And he actually might kill 2. That's crazy. He kills 1. Look at all these weak vills. Boom, boom, boom. Like, he's not losing anything. And he's still not letting the units out. Are you kidding? Is he going to kill another? This guy's unreal. It's not walled in. I think I was waiting for Andy to kill that. Okay. Sorry to anyone who uses me as a podcast. You just got very confused and thought you disconnected. But we're here. Andy somehow, even though he's been fighting up against archers and has had no military, has killed 5 villagers and lost 1. He's really going to need a monk, though, because his Vill HP is looking pretty brutal. And Sorokuma looking to break through again. Might be able to do so, but Andy's dropping a tower and also adding a galley here. Look at the villager HP, man! Look how weak these vills are! It's crazy! This is just crazy. I mean, the problem is he's running out of weak ones. Oh, man, and if Sorokuma makes a spear... If Sorokuma makes a spear here, it's gonna be insane! He's gonna feast! So that's why the barracks is there. Oh, please tell me he spots it. Oh, he's so unlucky. He's so unlucky. If he comes back, there's so many weak vills. Okay, he's dropping a tower. He really needs to break into the middle now. Andy's going to drop stone walls. I'm still not certain Andy's position is that good. Oh, and the spear's feasting. 1 down. Could be another down. I don't think Sorokuma's even paying attention to that. The Sorokuma also killed villagers on the stone walls there. And Andy lost another villager to the spearman. So Eco KD's much closer now. Sorokuma is trying to make more spears, but he's housed at the moment. Spear rushing the outside is going to go hard. And who knows, maybe he can make it to the middle. On the outside, he's had a dock. He's had villagers on shorefish. He's had the wood upgrade for free, of course. But Andy's determined not to let him through to the middle. What a messy game. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, Spearman. Gates from Andy. He doesn't have stone. And now the archers and villagers are through. Spearman will head to this dock because this is the only dock that he saw. He doesn't know about all these weak vills. And he's still micring here. Another villager is going to go down for Andy. Another villager goes down for Andy. He will make a demo. Demo's coming out of the dock. Sorokuma needs to be careful. If he stays off of the water, though, he's fine. Will he pay attention to this? Because there's also the spearman to look at. There's also the spearman to look at. He's getting dangerously close. And no! His villagers go down. Pain. Meanwhile, spearman still has the potential to attack out here. Is not attacking the weak vills. Archers could still kind of disrupt the stone. Andy's tower doesn't protect his stone. I guess he could always take this stone. This is messy. This is anyone's game as well. I know that Andy has more resources collected, but Andy's only military is a tiny weak galley that's about to go down to archers. And Andy is not very protected in a lot of the locations you would normally need to be protected. Like, not protected here, not protected on the outside at all. I actually think it'd be so good. Yes, Sorokuma is starting to do this now. A couple archers to the outside, and all these vills could get picked. Andy seems to be rotating the weak ones home, which is smart. I think Andy will be Castle Age faster, which is obviously huge. I think the walls, even though they're not completed per se, are still valuable. The dock position, all valuable, but... This actually reminds me of a game Andy had walled before. I forget who it was against. And then he deleted all of his walls in one swoop and went for a castle there. That potential is still there. And not much Sorokuma can do about that if his archers are out of position. But now the archers are here. And Andy gets some quick walls. And Andy will have to leave the outside. But if Kuma sees the stone, Andy can't even take this. Unless he builds another tower. Yeah, Andy won't get a castle. He can't actively mine any of his stones. And Sorokuma can. Sorokuma could click up the Castle Age here soon. Still has the archers around to harass. I actually think... I mean, it's so risky. Actually, let me just say this. Chat, on a scale 1 to 10, rank this idea, okay? I want Sorokuma, after he takes down this wall, to bring 5 vills, walk forward, and batter down this tower. You take down that tower, you can hold this position with army and prevent castles. The risk there is that a demo can come out. So that's why you have to be super, super careful, and you have to take down the palisade, and you have to attack from the left side. I could see why people are giving me bad rankings. Actually, hold up. Better idea. You drop your own tower right here. You put your archers inside of it, and you shoot that tower down. That's a 10. That's a 10. I cannot be convinced. That protects this whole location from being siege pushed and castle dropped. You don't risk getting demoed. That's really good here. Just remember, if Andy gets to push this position with the siege workshop, remember this point. For now, Andy going for a monastery. He's going for a siege workshop. He's going for a barracks. Lots of buildings here. Lots of weak eco still. Surrounded by Sorakuma, who needs to pay very close attention to the outside. There's a demo from Andy. Now, Andy saw there were vills there, I think, and he wants to kill the vills. But if he just patrols his demo, it will just hit the dock. That's a dock block right there. It blocks off the pathing. And, okay, he notices that. That's a lot of vills from Sorakuma, which makes me think he might want to castle drop the outside. But Andy's going to have siege on the outside now. That's the crazy thing about the map. It's like, you're outside, you're inside, you're outside, you're inside, you're inside, you're outside. Where do you focus? Oh, he's dropping a monastery here. Double monastery here. Well, if he can get 2 monks with redemption to convert the siege, then, as the archer gets converted, then he could drop a castle out here, maybe. Andy's demo can see that. And Andy will drop a stable for potential light cav, but his food eco is not what you would want light cav food eco to be. Still hasn't been able to really hang out in the middle. Sorakuma needs to get those monk upgrades. It's cheap with the Burmese. You need to have sanctity as well. He's actually going for atonement too, so he can convert monks, but there's not many monks. And Andy's prepping defense now. Guys, imagine if this tower was getting shot down. This whole position could be pushed or castle dropped. So easy for us to say. Where's the demo at? I don't know where the demo... I guess the demo got deleted. Devotion even for Sorakuma. Only with Burmese can you have this economy and research this many monk techs. So cheap. And here we go. Andy knows what that means. Andy has to back off with his siege there. Still could be converted. If the siege bump into the house there... Wow, that's smart. Andy knows pathing. Better than most. Other people, they lose their mangonel and they go, oh, nearly, you know, and they complain. But he knew that the mangonels could bump. Light cav are pretty strong here. I don't know if I like how adventurous Sorakuma is being, but this is sudden death. Dock gets deleted. Will Sorakuma attempt a castle here? He doesn't know about the light cav transition. His monks are all spread out. He sees the monks, though, and Andy isn't expecting atonement. Andy might need to delete those monks, but maybe he's baiting. Maybe he's pulling Sorakuma out of position so the light cav can swoop in. Is Sorakuma going to drop the castle now? Sorakuma doesn't see the siege. Sorakuma can see the siege. Does he see the light cav? He does see the light cav now. He's way out of position here against light cav. This is so bad for Sorakuma. Oh, Andy's done a really nice job here. And this could win him the series, take him to the finals. Sorakuma did not expect light cav from the darkness. The siege will get sniped. He has the barracks. I actually forgot he has the barracks. The forward barracks pays off again, because now he can make some spears. Still really bad for his vills, of course. That's a lot of light cav from Andy. And forging. Could consider a forward castle, but there's still a tower there. Andy's all over this right now. No, Sorakuma. He tried to play sudden death. But his own death is going to be sudden. Unless there is a big moment. There's a big moment. He's sending the Vills for a castle. Let them all die. Let them all die out here. Nobody cares anymore. Let him die. Actually, he's winning the fight. He'll take down the siege. Castle here is on the way up. There is a demo on the way from Andy. That is danger. That is big danger. But if the castle goes up, it's winnable. 55%. Andy will lose a lot here, too, once the castle completes. 70%. Siege is dead. Castle's at 85%. Demo will come out. Demo didn't kill much. Castle's up on Andy's face. Sorokuma doesn't need the outside anymore. He can just push the middle. Andy in big trouble here. These villagers are exposed. They'll go down to the archers. Sorokuma can just take this gold now. So he has some gold income. Pretty much that's all he's going to have. His castle does not range Andy's TC, but it's still a really uncomfortable position for Andy to know what to do. Because Andy can't go to the left. There's a lot of vision there, so he won't ever feel like he can go kill there. If anything, he's going to have to go to the right. Kuma should just go, just like Erenbai and adapt from here. You're really close. There goes Andy with the light cav to go raid an eco that isn't raidable because it doesn't exist here anymore. Okay, Andy will drop his own castle. And he actually bought a decent amount of that stone. And that's a smart play. You know you still probably have an eco lead. Obviously have to protect your town center. This could actually do a lot. He could kill the TC with freaking light cav at this rate. Erenbai and archers are going to have to be sent home against light cav. It's weird, though, because none of them can go in, and none of them can win with petards. It's a super low economic situation. The light cav get in. Also, score tells you the game is much closer economically. I mean, even the eco KD is pretty close. It's just that Sorokuma doesn't have any food eco. What a weird game. Tell me, chat, do these castles range each other with Fletching and Bodkin? I think they would, right? Neither player has the upgrade. No, that's not true. Sorokuma does. So he could maybe try and get to Bodkin, but he is 0 on food. Here he hopped out with a couple monks, and oh, he converts a monk. He also forced Andy into a delete there. Suddenly, Andy's not really sure what to make. Is Sorokuma about to convert that tower? Bro. I mean, he took down the mangonel. Converting the tower takes a while. That's ambitious. But if it happened, it would have been pretty nice launching pads for an attack. I kind of feel like Andy doesn't know what to do right now. He's got a castle on his face. He's got army coming in from the left. He can't make any army that makes sense for Burgundians. Because you need food eco. Over here, Sorokuma's got some units in vision. Sorokuma can never be surprised. Sorokuma just needs to, like, buy some food and keep villagers working. That's my issue. Is he looks at this state and says he's dead if he doesn't kill fast. I actually think it's adaptable. He hasn't produced a vill in 5 minutes. Here he comes again to try and convert a tower, which is so wild. Here come the light cav. Erenbai are blocking. Ooh. Ooh. I mean, that wasn't actually horrible. He lost 2 monks, but he killed all of Andy's army there. And now Andy's monk is going to go down? And does the tower actually get converted? If he converts the tower, he could put his archers inside. Andy deletes the tower! And now Andy almost loses his monk. Is this winnable for Sorokuma? He's got so much army. So many monks. Andy has no army, but he has only eco. But it's a really inefficient eco. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Andy's heading this way. Did Sorokuma notice that he lost whatever was over there? This is Andy's win condition now. Because he feels like he's going to get siege pushed from the left, which will be the case. The siege workshop is starting to make mangonels. I think Sorokuma would have an idea that he lost the units over here, but he's been really focused on all of this. Yeah, Andy will die to a siege push eventually. This is crazy. These Erenbai have been patrolled home, it seems. Like they've been brought home like they have a task, but the houses keep catching them. Yeah, he keeps... I hate it when this happens. But it's actually a smart reason to build buildings in your opponent's base, because they will try and get somewhere and they'll get stuck. And he doesn't have the stone. He actually needs to buy 200 stone, and he lost his market. Oh, and he must have built an outpost somewhere, because he is 545. That sucks that you would buy 100 stone and be 5 stone short of a castle. He needs to buy so much. His TC's going down. Castles do range each other, by the way. There's the castle. There's the castle. The Erenbai were sent that direction on a patrol. They're patrolling into the house. They could deny this. Sorokuma. Meanwhile, I think Andy's trying to mass enough Custilier to snipe the siege. There's the castle. Sorokuma was here too late. The castle's gonna go up. Sorokuma has to back away. Ah! Yeah, and then the Custilier just hopped out. They'll go for the siege snipe. Sorokuma needs to focus with his monks here and his siege. When they pop out, he needs to back away with the siege and convert immediately. Hard to do when you have a castle on your face. He's 20 villagers behind right now, guys. He takes down this TC. The series continues. Sorokuma's definitely focused here. He was ready with the conversions. He almost has it. He almost has it. He's not backing away. I think Andy's trying to make him think he has redemption when he doesn't. And Andy can't really do anything more with this castle. The castle wasn't close enough to destroy himself. Andy's rushing out with Bills. He's rushing out with Bills. Bills, he will lose. The Custilier are here. Andy. The TC. It goes down. What is happening here, guys? I thought Sorokuma was so dead when he got spotted in the south. But he comes back with only 20 villagers. It was just consistent monk and Erenbai production. And like we said earlier, right? Burgundians need the super easy, clean game. They need lots of farms and lots of eco. Once this castle came down and once the pushes started coming from the outside, it just got really chaotic here. And then Andy hit a wall. I do think it was the right move from Andy to try this castle, by the way. It was clear, things were not trending in a very good direction. But it was a game-saving move from Sorokuma when he got found down here in the south to YOLO everything and build this castle on the front. That was so good. And so, I mean, it's 3-0, and I say he came back when he was down before, and you say, okay, T90, you're stupid. Well, hopefully you don't say that, but you're like, okay, that's the caster thing to say. Now... Now you're like, well, maybe this is actually doable for Sorokuma. All right, friends, welcome. We're at game number 6. It kind of felt like this was going to be a 4-0. Let's not forget that in game number 4, if freaking Andy built a safe castle, he may have actually won the series 4-0 right there. But Sorokuma has been bringing it back, and we now have the best civilizations remaining for both of them. So if Sorokuma can win this matchup, and this is maybe his toughest test yet, we go to game 7 with the scoreline tied and the civ priority being pretty even as well. We have Spanish for Sorokuma. We have the Portuguese for Andy. And the big thing with the Portuguese, on top of all their other bonuses, is really, if the game goes long, they almost always win because of making the Feitorias. No other civ can build that building. And since this is, you're locked on one town center, that is so much stronger than what the opponents can do, even if they end up getting the relics. Now, I have a feeling that we are going to see a lot of monks in this game. Andy's known for being very good with monks. Portuguese have very cheap monks. The Spanish also have very good monks, especially if they research the Inquisition upgrade. But I just don't think opening with monks is necessarily a very good play against Andy if you're Sorokuma. I don't think it's necessarily a safe play even if you're Andy. So maybe it'll be like archers or scouts for map control, and then later on we'll see the monks be very valuable. Andy's golds are fairly far forward if he were to get pushed. This, of course, means his stone is a little bit safe. Sorokuma at least has his main gold and his stone a bit safer, but that gold's a bit further forward, so we have some time. T90 or Portuguese better in this matchup? I think Portuguese are slightly better just because they have the failsafe of going for the Feitorias. But if you don't factor in the Feitorias... If you don't factor in the Feitorias, I consider it near 50-50. Because Conquistadors are an insanely broken unit. And even... That's a unit that has a tendency to beat units that should be the counter. Like, say, skirmishers or monks. So... I wonder if it's too costly to go immediately for Conquistadors. I wonder if you have to be patient, play Lycav, and then get Conquistadors later on in the game. I don't know. I would say that if I'm Andy, and I don't know what it's like being Andy because I suck with monks, but if I was good with monks and I was against Spanish, I would probably just open double monastery here, expecting Conquistadors. So maybe you expect that they will expect the expectation and you go Lycav against that. There's a lot of guessing games on Arena, which is rather unfortunate. All right, we've got a fox push here. They added foxes to the game, and they're not supposed to be pushable, but they were introduced as pushable. You can get about 30 gold from that. It drops off into your bank like a Khmer farm, which is kind of weird. But if they're there, you should take them. They're in groups of 2. So Andy's doing that, and also Sorokuma is doing that. So very, very exciting times here in the Dark Age. Sorokuma's up. Wait a second. Is he going to tower rush? I think really underrated builds with all civs. Not even talking just melee or pulls or civs that you see this more frequently. It's just feudal boom. You don't even tower rush. Just fast feudal, fast eco techs, super smooth eco for later on. It helps you with the fast imperial age. But I think he's going to tower rush. Tell you guys a story. So there was a team game event. It was a country team game event, and USA got paired up against Taiwan. And we were the underdogs, big time. Half our players are old, rusty, retired, or a caster, right? But we're solid. We're solid. So I was like, all right, boys, let's give it a shot. And so it was a mix of 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, and such. But the rule was whoever plays the 1v1 can't play the 2v2. And so obviously Daniel's our best 1v1 player. But then like Daniel, we wouldn't have Daniel for the 2v2. So I was like, listen, we have to take some risks here. I practiced the whole freaking week against Daniel on Arena. I was like, I'm probably going to be up against Sorokuma. Let me play the 1v1. Daniel, I want you to trust the ever-living crap out of me all week so I can get good at defending it. Hopefully I beat Sorokuma. Then you go into the 2v2, Daniel. You win the 2v2. That's how we win. So I practiced all week. I probably won 5 games and lost 17. Daniel destroyed me every time. With freaking melee trush, right? Because we had the whole plan. We're going to bait Sorokuma into picking melee. He's going to go tower rush and archers. He picked melee. He didn't tower rush. And he beat me really bad. He just did other things. So it was like 25 games of confidence ruining games against Daniel. Expecting the tower rush because he's really good with it. And then... yeah, we just died. So it was a whole lot of nothing in the end. So that's fun. But the reason I tell you that story is A, because it's Arena. I have nothing else to talk about. And B, I think, like, Sorakuma's good at this. And there's some logic to the build. Did they win the 2v2? No, we lost every game. We got swept. We didn't get any wins. All right, here comes the new defense method against this strat. Get a wall piece down as quickly as possible. Andy's trying to disrupt. Andy's trying to block. And Andy gets loom. And Andy just boops down the wall. And this is why a lot of clowns will tell you this strategy sucks these days. This defense is the defense that people go for because the towers just don't do enough damage to kill the Vills. Really well played from Andy. Gives himself more time. And now he will stonewall behind here. Now, Spanish are one of 2 civs that can't even get crossbow. So making a lot of archers is not necessarily great long-term with that in mind. But I think Sorakuma wants map control. He wants to make it messy. He doesn't want Andy to be able to freely make monks and light cav and have a normal arena game with maybe a better arena civ here. So he actually isn't even on stone for another tower right now, which he would want. He would want a tower so he could build a tower, shoot that down, but he doesn't have it. But when you've committed this much to the attack, you feel inclined to stay here. Still hasn't gone to stone, so it's just going to be these archers and these Vills, and that's it. Weird. Maybe we'll still see villagers head to stone, but it doesn't seem like he's that interested in it. It seems like he's more focused on the farming eco and just the overall balance. And Andy will try the same thing again here. Andy will come out and build a stone wall. Right? Yeah. I don't think tower rushing on arena is good in 2025. I think smart players will always do this. You build the stone wall, you just back away. They make it look really easy. You make one mistake and you get punished. Ooh, and Sorakuma kills the scout. That's actually huge. Because Andy would have healed his scout. Andy would have moved out and killed this. Andy could adjust on the fly based on what he sees. But now he's in the dark. And so now Andy has basically changed his game plan. He's going heavy on the stone for organ guns because of this attack. And so that has at least been a positive for Sorakuma. Here we go, round 3. One villager gets hit, pull the villager away, click a bunch, pull the weak ones away. Andy's a pro at this. And now another piece of stone wall buys him time. And now he's in castle. So now, being in castle age, your walls get the double HP. So now Sorakuma's never breaking through. Ever. Andy will add a siege workshop. Okay, chat, I have an idea. Siege tower castle drop. Oh, come on, Andy. Have some guts. Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. Oh, I'm sorry. I got excited. But listen. If he had a scout and Sorakuma wouldn't see it, can you imagine? Too risky, right? But could be game winning. A stable from Sorakuma in the middle. He's going to eat some foxes. And Andy doesn't even make a mangonel. I guess because he doesn't need to take this tower down yet. And he's expecting conquistadors, so he doesn't want a mangonel because it's too expensive. T90, do you think it should require a tech for walls to get the extra HP? No, I think it's fine as is. I think it's really nice how feudal age stone walls have less HP and castle age stone walls have more. I don't think it needs to require a tech. I mean, there is fortified wall. So, I mean, it's nice that tower rushing on arena is an option, right? But I think it would be a problem for the map if that was the only viable way to play the game. So this is just a unique way from Sorakuma to take some map control. And he's hoping now that he can surprise Andy because Andy doesn't have vision. He's bringing in the archers. He's also bringing in the scout. And he saw the monk, guys, with his outpost. He saw that. That's why he's running towards it. And he will snipe the monk. And Andy has to give up the scorpion because Andy can't let the army in through that gate. Sorakuma's really happy with this. The castle position is super defensive and not on your face from Andy. You've killed a monk. You've killed a scorpion. You know exactly what the opponent's doing at all times here. That's not bad. I think monks would hit really hard here for Sorakuma. But then you get into a monk war against Andy. Conquistadors are, of course, solid as well, but they cost food and gold, which means you are missing out on your Imperial Age time compared to organ guns. People in my chat are a big fan of missionary. I think monk is the way to go instead because you have the range. Missionaries are speedier, but you need to have the range for the monks, and you have to be able to, you can pick up the relics. I still really think that, like, I was proposing for years that missionaries were able to pick up relics. I still think that'd be pretty cool. But I think maybe that'll never happen. Scouts come in to kill another monk. Can they get it? They get it. So that's 2 monks killed. Andy still didn't end up getting a relic. It's not too bad. And Andy still doesn't know what Sorakuma's going for. Sorakuma just deleted a hole in his wall. He would drop a castle there. Let's see if he can get these relics real quick. What's Andy's scouting like, actually? Doesn't see much. Moving into the darkness. Ooh, really risky timing, really risky timing, really risky timing. That hole in the wall is making me nervous. Even the castle position's making me nervous. The monks are running. The castle's on the way up. I think it's okay. That could have been a disaster for Sorakuma, but it's at 60%. Yeah, castle will go up. Spanish builders, 2 relics. 2 relics, and also with good resources to maybe go to the Imperial Age. Maybe you don't move out at all now. You just click Imp. You get block printing in with your monks, and go for Trebs for the castle, and just push. Big time. I like the sneaky patrol here from the scout. That gets spotted by Andy. Andy's still looking for relics, of course. Would be crazy if the scout kills the organ gun. The scout will run home now and heal up. They're both going to go imp. Watch this score bottom right, guys. Watch that right now. And watch the difference. You see the change right there. That will tell Andy. An experienced player like Andy will know that Sora has clicked. And Andy will obviously try and do the same himself now. I think he'll idle now. Stop producing bills. Imperial Age can change so much when players have monks and castles. And there it is, guys! Everybody expects the Spanish Inquisition, but I guess that's not the saying. So nobody expects it. It's a smart play. It's not an upgrade everybody would get. So some people expect the Spanish Inquisition. And final relic is still over here from Sorakuma. He might run over there to take that. That's a big upgrade in Monk Wars. Monks and missionaries convert faster. So you have that, and then both players get devotion, probably. But the Inquisition player should always win the Monk War if the conversions are happening at the same time. You do need redemption to convert the organ guns. That's part of the problem for Sorakuma, is he doesn't have army and monks. It's just going to be monks. But yeah, 3rd relic coming in for Sorakuma. Andy needs to start prepping houses and population space for that Feitoria. That's how the Portuguese win. There's actually not a massive incentive to push if you're Andy. If you can get away with 2 or 3 Feitorias, there's no need for you to push. And there's the houses. Ever so slightly bothers me. I feel like that's not very space efficient, but it's not that big a deal. You still have space for the Feitorias back there. And we will see trebuchets and monks from Sorakuma to kill quickly. Another monastery's on the way. I don't think he got atonement, but I could have missed it. He didn't get atonement yet. But there's not many monks from Andy. It's just organ guns. These monks are looking dope. Mysterious looking monks. I feel like those monks don't even need the staff for balance there. Like, I feel like these are some pretty fit monks. All right, first Treb's on the way. Block printing for both. Still haven't seen atonement. Monks will have some crazy range here. Castle is obviously there, but he's known that for a while. He's going to lock in conversions on the organ guns. Andy will see that. Andy will go for atonement for his own monks to come back from this. There's Fatoria number 1. That costs stone and that costs gold. Also takes away pop space. But once it's up, that's an advantage. It takes a little bit of time for him to benefit from it. 0 villagers on stone for Sorokuma. So his castle's just YOLOing Trebs. He's not planning on a forward castle or any more stone income right now. It's just full monks to convert whatever Andy sends this way. Tell me he got atonement. No atonement is so bad. I think he thinks he has it, guys. And if one of his monks gets converted, they all could get converted. He really needs that upgrade. Also, made a video on it. You gotta be walling in front of your Trebs here. Yeah, finally! Freaking finally! Somebody watches my videos. Oh my god, it makes me happy. Thank you. Oh god, but now he's throwing because he doesn't have atonement. No, 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 no. But it's nice that we saw someone actually try that. It's super OP. Okay, and atonement's just 20 seconds off. He didn't lose a Treb. That will block some of the Treb projectiles, which could make all the difference in a Treb war. For those that don't know what that does, I don't know if I trust Sorokuma in a monk war. Let's see. There's a lot more red things over the blue things, and the conversions are happening, and there's still the organ guns here, and the castle's still up for Andy, and there's so many conversions on both sides, but there's just so much more from Andy. The Trebs are going to have to back away again. Andy has just as many monks. Andy has the organ guns, and all the Trebs are exposed. Painful. We've just fallen into a comfort zone thing for Andy. He loves monks. Even if his opponent has Inquisition, like, he's a big fan of this. But the Trebs didn't go down. The Trebs didn't go down. They can be repaired. More monks on the way. Still only 1 Fatoria for Andy. It's just similar amount of monks, plus there's the organ guns. That's what makes it tough for Sorokuma. Needs a villager forward to repair the Trebs. Andy sinking repairs into the castle, so it's full HP again. We need another monastery from Sorokuma. But I like how he doesn't give Andy a lot of time. It's only going to get worse against Fatorias, so... Conversions are happening again. But look how many Andy has targeted. He has them all control grouped. Big time. He's just the better monk player, guys. That's insane how many conversions he just got. Andy's bringing his villagers now. And Andy wants to take down those Trebs before his castle goes down. The castle doesn't fall! The castle doesn't fall! It was so close! The castle will stay up and the Trebs have to back away, and freaking Andy says, don't ever go monks against me. I don't care what civ you have. Just a skill difference here. There will be some people arguing that controlling monks isn't skill, but that's all cope because they can't do it. I used to be that guy. Putting them all into different numbers, clicking them on the different targets, not an easy thing to manage. And I think this is where it ends, guys. Just this combination of organ guns and monks is super difficult to deal with. We knew Portuguese would just get better and better and better. The Fatoria's ticking with res. Andy doesn't necessarily have to push right now. He could wait for more Fatorias. But when you win a fight like that, obviously you're looking to make a move. I think Sorokuma needs to think desperation plays now. 2 petards. taking the sidewall and Treb sneaking around the whole edge of the map. But how are you supposed to do that when Andy has outposts and vision? Right? I mean, I guess you can still hope that your conversions happen. Wow, that's crazy. Andy didn't even have theocracy that whole time. Oh my god. Okay, here comes the desperation attempt. The problem is the outpost is there. Is he gonna go take down the outpost with a scout right now? Yo, get forging fast. Get forging, please. I mean, it's the right play to not move out when there's an outpost there, because Andy will see you. Andy knows that Sorokuma is desperate. He's outposted this side. No! No, go back, go back, go back. See, you can't move into the outpost vision. Look, he's trying to sneakily convert it. Andy spotted it, though. Okay. Well, hey, outpost will be converted, maybe? Profit? Please get it. He gets it. Okay, worth it. Now, all you need to do is convert the other outposts and convert the houses. Oh, he's getting faith. Okay, I mean, he's got 10 monks. If they can all get conversions, maybe. He also researched sappers. So he's gonna, like, Vil Rush. Look how quick Andy targets those monks. Faith isn't even in yet, either. Which is really bad for Sorokuma. He's back in the castle. He needs to repair his castle. He has very little stone. Faith is still not in yet. It's expensive. Sorokuma is running out of resources. Faith still isn't in yet. He loses some more units. He's back in his castle, out of stone to repair. Trebs are taking down monks. Now Faith is in. But he had to focus on the repairs, and now he has to get back in. Trebs are doing work, though. Trebs are doing absolute work. Monks now have benefit from Faith. Trebs are taking down Trebs. Monks now go for conversions. Monks are dying for Andy, and they're getting converted. Castle's staying up. It actually is going pretty good for Sorokuma right now. I mean, it's super all in. But maybe? It's out of stone again. Out of stone again. Andy's repairing. Castle goes down. Now Andy can advance forward. Sorokuma does get a lot of conversions here. He will bring the Vils, which don't have wheelbarrows, so they're super freaking slow. But he's going after the Trebs. The Trebs are obviously key for both. There's now a wide open area for Andy to go into his opponent's base. But the villagers have something to say. Villagers take down a Treb. Villagers take down another Treb. The whole economy is coming from Sorokuma. Can he get into Andy's base? Honestly, if he clicks his Trebs onto the TC right now, you can't tell me there's not at least a 1% chance. He only has 2 Trebs. Unfortunately, he doesn't have supremacy, so that's unfortunate. Nah. It's not working. Turns out you need more than just villagers for military. And Andy's making more organ guns. Andy is making more light cav, or adding in light cav, and Sorokuma taps out. And it will be freaking Andy in the finals. Honestly, though, like, I've seen Spanish go monk war against people a lot. And in even numbers, it is very rare to see Spanish get out converted. I think Sorokuma is a solid player with monks, but he's not elite with monks. Andy is maybe like top 3 in the world in terms of controlling monks and eco, and he was prepped for that, man. Every monk had a number, and he was YOLO'd onto that. Portuguese was the top pick. We knew the Fetorias would win the game. That's honestly a really respectable finish for Sorokuma, and this is a better storyline than if it would have been a 4-0. But freaking Andy, just so good and so comfortable in these settings, and he'll be in the final. It's going to be tough to beat him, man. We will have another semifinal today, but let's look at the stats in this game. I'm going to guess that freaking Andy had 20 more conversions here. Okay, well, I was very wrong on that prediction, but it felt like he would have based on how the earlier engagements went. I think the last couple moments were way better for way better for Sorokuma. And then the organ guns were actually getting quite a few kills. So that was the tough thing, is you had to focus on converting organs or monks. If you convert the organs, then your monks get converted. If you go to convert the monks, then the organ guns kill you. So it was a really difficult combination. Look at that monk die. He's about to fall to his knees dramatically. Maybe this should be the YouTube thumbnail. GG. Well played to Andy. Like I said, Andy's my favorite. Maybe to win the whole tournament now. But next semifinal will be coming up as well. And will hopefully be very, very good.